Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Non Fungible News. My name is Tricky Boom, and we have today an interview with the one, the only, the Virtual Flame.
Hello. Thanks for having me, Non Fungible. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the time. So we'll just jump right in. And with that, giving me the time, you are all over the place. You're pumping up the community. You're now you own VGhosts as well as V Nerds. You're hosting spaces. You're doing everything, and you're a huge part of this community. So thank you for coming on. So just give me a little brief overview of who is the Virtual Flame. I mean, what's your background? What got you into the NFTs? What got you into VeChain?
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me on, Non Fungible. I love your channel. I love the shorts. I love your Twitter presence. You're crushing it as well. So thank you for the kind words, and you're doing a great job as well. So thank you very much. Well, I come from, a couple different places. VeChain was the very first cryptocurrency I ever purchased or got into. I just found out about, the supply chain management, things like that. And I was all on board. I read the Walmart news. I read the BMW news. I was bullish from the very get-go. And it's stayed that way throughout. And I also have dabbled a little bit in Cardano as well. I'm a big fan of, Charles and what they're doing over there at Cardano. And that's really where I got into NFTs, was in the Cardano ecosystem. And what I found was a quickly oversaturated, market. There was project after project dropping. I couldn't keep up with it. I couldn't seem to make any money doing it. I literally was part of rug pulls left and right. And it was just burning me because I love the art. I love the community, but I just couldn't find anything that really stuck. So that is about the time I made a Twitter to keep up with all these CNFT projects. And then I stumbled across like Eisenreich and Vet Scandi and Vet Lieber and V-Punks and all these people who were, a bustling ecosystem of VNFTs. And I'm like, okay, all right, this is a lot smaller. This is something that I can, be a part of and feel some gratification about it. So I got into V-Punks was my very first mint. I open up the VeChain Thor wallet religiously every single day and click on the Discover tab to see what's new. And one day I had opened it up and V-Punks is sitting there. And I'm like, what the heck is this? So I get on there and I minted them and I joined the Telegram and I just had a blast doing it. So yeah, that's basically what led me to, VeChain and the VFam on Twitter. I'd always been a VeChain holder, but I'd never been a community member, so to speak. So that's really what started it all, was, opening up that DApp, looking at V-Punks, understanding smart contracts, understanding all this stuff that is really lacking on the Cardano chain. VeChain had it all nice and pretty and easy to interact with. So yeah, that's basically Virtual Flame in a nutshell as far as getting on VeChain and getting into the VNFT space and the Twitter fam.
Well, right on. Yeah, I know I've talked to you a little bit about some Cardano projects, and I'd known that you'd come from Cardano, and I couldn't agree more about all the rug pulls, the saturation. There's too much, and they don't offer enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of an ironic thing to say, I guess, but yeah, there's too much. They don't offer enough. You got to manually push through your NFTs if you want to sell them. I mean, they're coming through with smart contracts now, and they got some better platforms, which I haven't even jumped into because, I got in with CNFT and then I switched over to VeChain pretty much. And I don't know what's going on Cardano anymore besides the NFTs that I have in my wallet that, I'm dumping as I can.
It's one of those things. It's like once you make that switch over to the smooth interactions on VeChain, it's just like you never want to go back to any other, community. It's so fulfilling in the VNFT space. So I agree with you, man.
So we've seen how the VeChain ecosystem has grown. Like you said, when I got into the VeChain Thor wallet, there was already VPunks, but that was the only one in there. I didn't get on minting them. But I mean, what is there? There's probably 20, 25 dApps in there now.
Oh yeah, it's fully loaded.
So I've heard some chatter in different places on the um, VFam community on Twitter that, oh, another project, another VNFT dropping. Great, it's gonna get saturated just like Cardano. And
Mhm.
I don't hear a lot of that, but I do hear that, and it has crossed my mind. Is it going to get oversaturated, or is there enough vetting, enough doxing of these projects? Bread's spiel on last week's space was pretty straightforward, really informative about all of that and what they plan to do with VC going forward. Do you see us getting that saturation and rug pulls, or do we have a strong enough base community to where we're just not going to allow that to happen, or is that even possible?
Mhm. Uh, I mean, it's a great question because there's a lot of speculation to it, but we also have other chains to look at and kind of base our judgment off of. One thing I would say is that the VeChain community is very tight knit and everybody talks to each other. Everybody knows each other. And I wouldn't say, there are going to be rug pulls. There are going to be bad projects. And when I say bad, I just mean unsuccessful. There might be amazing art, but nothing else. Or there might be great gameplay or utility, but not art, or, whatever it may be that a project unfortunately falls short on. I think we're going to see that. And there's really no way to avoid it. But the silver lining on that is that the precedent of these VNFTs that are getting launched, the ceiling, so to speak, keeps getting set higher and higher and higher. At first, it was like, hey, we're going to release a PFP collection, do what you want with it. And we did see a lot of people jump on the ship of, well, hey, let me sell some quick PFPs as well and, double up my VeChain bag or, quadruple my VeChain bag in some people's cases. But what we're seeing, in my opinion, is the VNFT community is a lot more reserved on what they're aping into. I don't think it's the same as Ethereum or Solana, in which, you got to mint it so that way you can sell it on somebody else's head in 2 days for a 10x. I don't think that that's the energy that I've, observed. It's much more like we're building this because we know more people will come. And I think projects are absolutely elevating themselves. And you have to have utility at this point if you want to be a successful VNFT project. It can't just be willy-nilly. Those projects are going to get through the cracks, so to speak, but those same projects aren't going to mint out. Those same projects aren't going to have a bustling Discord or innovative theories. So I think that the VNFT space as a whole is extremely healthy. And I think there's a lot of competition, a lot of healthy competition involved, to where precedents are being set, standards are being set, and the VNFT community is 100% privy to this. And we're kind of acting as one big school of fish. So I'm pretty happy with it. I think that we're healthy. I think we're good. To answer your question on rug pulls, yeah, we might get some. But overall, I think everybody's pretty much on the same page. It's like, we're not just going to be throwing our VeChain at any given project anymore. You definitely have to bring something to the table if you want to eat.
Right on, right on. So you mentioned in there that we definitely need to have utility for any of these projects. I mean, that's a must. We've seen profile pic collections. One recently was V balls, which I love the V balls. I love the community. I supported them. They supported me. They were supportive of everything going on in the space. They didn't have an overly successful mint, and they were good with it. Now your V nerds, I read your white paper and I was like, oh, this is gonna get people. I mean, this is going to catch people's attention. People are going to like this because I've reached out to different people and had different conversations. What do people want? People want the airdrops. People want a sure thing, not necessarily meaning a sure thing of a 10x or 100x or whatever. A sure thing that they're being included, that they're the people in charge of the project are taking care of them, so to speak. So I read your white paper roadmap, and I was like, okay, well, this is something that I haven't really seen. This is amazing. This is awesome. And so far, you followed through with that. I mean, we've gotten our first airdrop, and I think, what is it, January 15th? You have to have your collection of all the nerds in to get the super nerd.
Yep.
So you've got that. It's successful to this point, and I have 100% faith that it will be until the very end. Then you just absorbed or acquired Vigos, which is kind of a profile pick. They, based off their minting tier, they're extremely low priced on the marketplace right now. So just give me a little comparing, contrasting, and then the virtual flame ness, if you will, your ness of what you're doing to Vigos, if you don't mind.
Sure. I guess I want to start with, you'd mentioned that a VNFT project needs utility. I agree 99% of the time. However, there's also a big factor of community. So, what the community values the NFT as, or essentially what they value their own community as, is going to reflect in the price of the aftermarket NFT sales. V-Balls is a great example. People who love V-Balls stinking love the V-Balls. I'm one of them. So, they do things very uniquely. They don't necessarily have direct utility, or maybe not a white paper, but their utility comes in the form of community engagement and community support. So, I don't think that every single NFT project needs to be like overly done or overly saturated with quote unquote utility, because that's also a term that's easily thrown around. But with that being said, yeah, we designed VNerds with one thing in mind, and that priority was make it more fun to hold than it is to sell. Let's design an NFT that nobody wants to sell. In turn, we've seen that the floor prices hold pretty good. I think we're 50% above the mint price, and have held that since we launched. People are buying VNerds every day on the aftermarket as they kind of flock to and read the white paper, and I think it takes a little bit for it all to sink in for the true value of the VNerds. But we're doing a great job at that, and the community's passionate. People love that they have a reserve token that's not like, well, I hope that they do something so that we can sell this thing. It's like, most people are holding their VNerds because they know more is coming. With Vigos, it is a PFP collection. We basically adopted that project with little to no long-term utility in mind. So we took them under the umbrella of V-Flame Studios simply because I love the community and the passion behind Vigos. Although, at times it might be negative passion, it's still very raw, unbridled passion for their assets. So what the Virtual Flame Studios team saw in that was a bunch of people who are passionate about the space and deserve to be engaged with. And I think that was the biggest lack of Vigos. I don't think that, it was a lack of utility or a lack of aftermarket sales. I think those things are byproducts of engagement. And so that's something that we saw that was a hole that we could fill. We weren't taking on too much. It didn't take away too much attention from VNerds or our future collections that we're dropping. And we saw an opportunity to give those people a chance to be happy with their collection and, just have fun with it. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing, is having fun. We're growing as a community. The VNFT space as a whole is growing. And, we're just learning how to walk at this point. So what we did was we took it over, and we've been having nonstop meetings with people from the team and outside the team as well, just as far as like short-term utility and long-term utility, and what we can really offer with the tools that we were given. So yeah, we're pretty dang pumped about Vigos. We're pretty dang pumped about the community, and I personally am very excited to give that community the attention that they so desperately deserve. So yeah, that's Vigos in a nutshell. You can stay tuned. I think I'm going to release a white paper for Vigos. But with everything going on, I'll probably need to, allocate some time middle of January, but definitely in Q1 we'll have a full blown white paper with roadmap and all the intricacies attached with it.
So it's kind of funny. I saw today that one of the Vicks that I minted, I won V Ghost. I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. I don't get into my V Ghost wallet very often, or
Mhm.
I don't look into my portfolio on the V Ghost or whatever it is on the marketplace. That I don't have them for sale. I have a handful of them,
Mhm.
and I got in there and I was looking at them. I showed my wife, who thinks this is all nuts, but she's in. I said, look I got this guy for free today. I want him. Oh my gosh, those things are so cute.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they are cute. They're cool. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what drew
Definitely.
me into them, because I knew that they were a profile pic collection. But given that I was, I try to support everything that I can.
Mhm.
And I like them. I like them. Those will probably stay in my wallet forever. And I'm happier than a pig and crap for that.
Yeah, me too. I love the ghost art too. I think it's very unique, very cute, very likable. Easy to get into, cool attributes. The list goes on.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited that you're taking that over. Just, for anybody that is newer to the space, Vigos is what, 4 or 5 months old, and they might see, um, they might not have seen a lot of hype on it or anything like that. And I think knowing that it's attached to VNerds, if people read your white paper and see, oh man, this is an awesome project, I'm going to get in. Well, then they're going to take on a V Ghost or two just as a byproduct,
Mhm.
and I think it's a great move. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm excited to read the white paper. Um,
Mhm.
so my next question is, how do you do it? You
Well,
you're up. I mean, it's midnight your time right now. You're with everything going on. You say you're having a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Everything that I have done in this community is a lot of fun. And I know for me, this is a full-time job on top of a full-time job.
mhm.
And I'm just a very small role here. And how do you how do you make it happen? I mean, you're the face of the VNFT VFAM community. I mean, it just showed in the awards. Congrats again on that, by the way. That's huge, and it's going to
Thank
be
you.
bigger as we go forward.
Yeah, yeah, man. Thank you very much. I it's a hard question to answer. But I mean, it's definitely not conscious. It's definitely just a knee jerk reaction. When I wake up, I don't think about a cup of coffee or anything else besides get on Discord, get on Twitter, say what's up to the community. I've always been a gamer. I've always been the leader of a clan in my games. I've always been you know the first guy to walk in the door at a house party with all my friends. I've just always been the type to take on things in the most full and epic ways possible. So, it really is second nature. It's not like, super crazy, but yeah, I mean, the V chain space on Mondays is a lot of fun. Coordinating with all the projects and building the questionnaires out, that takes a pretty big chunk of my week out. VChain Official has been kind enough to let me host the VChain Thursdays in the official Discord every Thursday. And that takes a pretty big chunk out too. I'm usually the one who does the questionnaires there as well. So, it's just kind of coordinating, like, here's the questionnaire. What are you not okay with me asking? Is there anything I'm forgetting about that you want to talk about? Um, and then on top of that, juggling the nerds and the ghosts, and then just kind of being present in between all those spaces. It's just very second hand nature to me. Basically the time I used to spend playing video games, I get on here. And I have a 5-year-old daughter who is extremely patient with me. She loves NFTs, she loves the pictures anyways. And she is definitely deserves some kudos there, because she deals with me being on calls and doing the spaces and the Thursdays and everything else all the time. And I'm pretty blessed in that sense. You mentioned that you got a wife, you got an old lady. I don't have a wife, so I think that gives me a lot more time than most of the guys in the space. Most of the guys have old ladies. I don't, so I'm just a single guy who's really passionate about the space. So, like I said, it really doesn't take much conscious effort. It's more or less what I love to do. There's nothing else I'd rather do. I don't go out to bars. I don't go out to parties. I don't go out on vacation. I truly enjoy what I do. So it's a blessing to have the support that I do. I always tell people, like, me being hosting a space is absolutely nothing if nobody listens. So it's really not me. I feel like the community does more for me than I do for the community, and I'm sure it'll just always stay that way. So yeah, thank you very much. But how I do it is just out of passion, man. I think that everybody wants it as bad as I do, and I think everybody in here deserves it as bad as I do. So yeah, I'm just pumped to be here, blessed to be here. Every day is a blessing.
Absolutely. The word that comes to my mind every time I think about this community is humility.
Mm,
There's so
wow.
much more humility in the VeChain space than there is any other blockchain that I've been a part of. And granted, I haven't dove in as deep on other ones as I am on this, but from what I've seen, I mean, this is, like you were saying earlier, this is a tight knit community, and
Mhm.
super excited for 2022. I mean, we just got a couple minutes left here, but give me in a nutshell, Virtual Flames uh, opinion outlook on this year, because with 2022 to 2025 being the growth phase, we've seen it in a big way the last several months. It's not slowing down, it's exponentially just picking up steam, picking up speed, and it's ready for liftoff. So
Mhm.
what are you thinking for this year, you know, knowing that we have potentially 3 years of I mean, 3 years at least of what we've seen in just a little short while here.
I experienced a lot of the same stuff you were talking about in other chains and other ecosystems. It seemed like to me everybody knew it all, and they were pompous and rude, and just
Flexing
overall
those muscles every chance they got.
every chance they get, man. It's just overall a very dissatisfying level of participation that I was getting. When I came across VeChain, everybody was under the understanding that we're all learning this together. We're all going to help each other out. I cannot think of one time in the VeChain space where somebody belittled me or made me feel less than what I was worth. And that is what I think attracts and keeps so many people in the space, is the level of camaraderie. So, I just think that everybody's on the same playing field. I think everybody has the same weapons, and I think it's extremely fair. I don't think there's a cliquey group of know-it-alls who run the entire system, and I'll do my absolute best to make sure that never happens. Because I believe that everybody, if it's your first time downloading a VeChain Thor wallet, or if it's your 200th VNFT, you're just as equal as the guy next to you in the Twitter space, or the guy retweeting you on Twitter. So I'm a big believer in that, and I love VeChain and VFam for those reasons. To answer your question on 22, from my point of view, from my perspective, 2021, there was already the train tracks built. The VeChain built the train tracks for us. What we did was we built the train on top of those tracks. We built, we have the captains, we have the coal in the middle, we have the caboose making sure everything stays on track. We've got everybody at every single crossroads making sure that we go smoothly and smoothly and smoothly. And what I feel like in 2022 is we are a full-blown train hucking down a track that cannot be stopped. At any other point in VeChain's history, I feel like, we might have broke down. We might have just been in a minivan and got a flat tire and, had to get back on the road. At this point, we are a full-blown revolution in the VeChain ecosystem. It's stronger than it's ever been. We got DeFi, shout out to V Exchange and ZumoSwap. We've got NFT projects, thanks to World of V, Black V Market, VC, Viewmanoids has their own marketplace going up. MVG is really stepped up to the plate with their AAA style game.
Visitors.
Visitors. Yeah, Visitors is the one who has the marketplace. Excuse me. Vumanoids is on VC. We have just Safe Haven is knocking it out of the park. They have Atomic Swaps and Harity Protocol. All these things are culminating and have created this unstoppable train. So do I have any price predictions for 2022? Absolutely not. I think that if anybody's worried about price, they should take a step back, breathe, and build, because it's going to take a while. VeChain will hit $1. I just don't know if it'll be in 2022. But the tokenomics and the market cap of just being around 4 billion, 5 billion, we can only go up. So yeah, I think we're an unstoppable train. I think it's going to be another great year. I think we've done an amazing job as a community to build a community. And I think that we're finally ready for newcomers to come and have some stuff to look around at. I think in the beginning, it was us just kind of walking around like, oh, this is cool. Well, I could build this. Oh, this is cool. I can use this and I can mess around with this. At this point, we've had enough of those people come in to actually lay a foundation to where when you walk into the world of VeChain, there's pictures on the wall. There's shops on the corner. There's people standing around the streets waving to you and saying hello. It's a bustling ecosystem at this point. I'm extremely bullish on the VeChain community. I think we're unstoppable. I think we're going to surpass a lot of other blockchains. I think we're going to bring a lot of transplants from other areas. They're going to have the same experience as you and I did. And I think that that's our main goal, is just get ready for the next wave, be prepared for the next wave, have those key players in their key positions to do what they do best, whether that be art, whether that be shilling on Twitter to Altcoin Daily, whether that be starting an NFT project with awesome utility. I think those things are ready and full in motion. And I mean, honestly, I'm antsy. I can't wait for 2022 to be over with so that we can look back and see everything we've accomplished as a community. I'm bullish on VFam. You asked me, how do I do it? It's really not me. I'm a fish inside of a huge school of fish, and we're all having a great time. I love it, man. Cheers to you. Cheers to the VFam.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. When I first got into crypto, and everybody that I bring into crypto, it's all about price predictions. Go to, whatever website. Well, such and such says, this is the price target, or such and such says this is a price target.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm in the right place because I don't have to look at price predictions. I don't have to ask for price predictions or just endlessly read about different price predictions. It's like, we know where this is going. I know where this is going for myself. I'm not anyone to direct somebody to get into this, but to get a feel for what we have going on and, what VeChain's doing on the back end, that's way beyond what we do. It's like, we just know. I just know that this is the place to be. And I think other blockchains maybe have that to a degree, but there's a lot more hype and everything. And when this community is flourishing like it is, without near the hype that these other ones have, I mean, it is the sleeping giant, and
yeah,
we know it. And I try to bring people in every day. I find myself in conversation about this with the most random people in the most random places. And some people are just skeptical. Some people are ignorant. Some people are curious, scared, everything. But as long as we can talk to somebody about it, pique somebody's interest a little bit, bring them in, we're doing our job.
And I think we see that every single week that goes by. We have new people coming and asking questions about VeChain. We have people who have held VeChain and they're learning about DeFi thanks to VExchange, and they're learning about atomic swaps thanks to Shaw. I think that there's a level of education going on in our community that is really gonna. You said the word flourish. I mean, that stands out to me. That's exactly what we're doing. We're flourishing right now, and I mean, I'm more happy now in crypto than I ever have been in any other space. I used to be the same way, looking up price prediction videos for, coins that I held and looking up, trying to figure out the latest news. The cool thing about what we're doing here is we are the news. You know, you can't find any more up-to-date information than what we're doing day by day, chopping wood, as Satoshi Boomin would say. We're chopping wood every single day, and that's extremely satisfying to me. There's a level of gratification to, you know, we are the movement. There isn't any keep up with VeChain, YouTube, and let somebody else tell us what they're doing. We are the ones with the shovels digging out there every day, and I know it's going to pay off. So, yeah, I'm having it. I'm loving it. I'll be here for this year, the next year. I mean, as long as I don't die, I will be in the BFAM community for life. I've got Sunny Lou tatted on my leg, man. I'm not going anywhere.
Hey, and if you do die,
Inherity.
Yeah, Harry, right there. I mean, the ball's rolling. It's all set.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, none.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you get off of here. I really appreciate your time, and I'm excited for the year. And yeah, we'll just keep on chopping, keep on doing what we do. Get this train rolling and not stopping.
Let's get it, man.
Keep it rolling and not
Keep
stopping.
keep it rolling, man. We're cooking with gas. We're cooking with coal. Big shout out to the V Nerds community. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out V Nerds or Virtual Flame Studios, you can find us on Twitter at V Nerds NFT. You can find us at Discord. We have the Discord link in our Twitter. You know, I encourage you to read the white paper, get into the community, ask some questions. Be on the lookout for Vigos updates as well. Big shout out to VC as well. Big shout out to Bread, Shrimp, the whole team over at VC. They're doing an amazing job. Shout out to Tyler, Nebula from Shaw, Safe Haven. Shout out to Riley from V Exchange. The list goes on and on. I'm super, super thankful for everybody I've met with, engaged with, built with, and I'm really looking forward to 2022. So if anybody ever wants to get a hold of me, you can find me at The Virtual Flame on Twitter. My DMs are always open. So shoot me a DM with any ideas, opinions, comments, criticisms, questions. That's what I do, man. So thank you so much, Non Fungible, for having me on, and I hope we can do it again sometime.
Hell yeah, we will. We'll do a good check in here in a couple months, see where we're at with things.
Thank you, Non Fungible. You have a great night, man. Peace out, BFAM. See you guys. Thank you.